Hi, boys and girls. I'm Teacher Regan. Once again, welcome to Easy Learning Simplified. So in this session, we are going to discuss how to multiply a decimal number by a whole number. In our previous session, we discussed the total values of decimals. Place values of decimals was discussed in our first session on the same. So we are going to discuss the multiplication of decimals, and basically we are just going to go through the steps that we are supposed to follow if you want to multiply a decimal number by a whole number without much struggle. So I just say steps. Consider say 12.25 times say 4. 12.25 times 4. So solution, we are going to discuss the steps that you are supposed to follow in order to be able to multiply a decimal number by a whole number easily without much struggle. So the first step, convert both the decimal number and the whole number into fractions, i.e. that is 12.25. How many decimal places do we have? 2. So that means that 12.1225 as a fraction is written as 1225 over 100 times 4. Of course, that's a whole number. We simply give it a denominator of 1. Then Roman 2, after you have done that, you multiply the fractions and simplify. So from this juncture, we have a multiplication of a fraction by another fraction. So 1225 over 100 times 4 over 1 is the same as 1225 times 4 over 100 times 1. Are you there? So here we can have 1225 times 4. So 4 by 5, that is 20. Write 0, carry 2. 4 by 2, that is 8 plus 2, 10. Write 0, carry 1. 4 by 2, 8 plus 1, 9. Then 4 by 1, that is 4. Are we there? So we shall have 4,900 over 100. So the last two zeros will cancel out. Therefore, our answer becomes 49. Are we together? Another option or another method that you can use to multiply decimals, simply take note of the decimal places. So how many decimal places do we have here? 1, 2. Then once you know that we have 2 decimal places, take the number without the decimal place, which is 25. Then you multiply it by 4. Then you put the decimal places accordingly once you're done. So this one was, we calculated this down here, and it is 4,900. And our decimal places are how many? 2. 1, 2. Then you place the decimal point there. So here, when you are not restricted to write this particular number to a certain number of significant figures, then we can say that 49.00 is the same as 49. Because if you were to subtract 49, add 49 to a certain number, then the last two zeros after the decimal point will not have or will not interfere with the degree of accuracy that is required. Unless you have been asked to write it to 2 decimal places, or if you're supposed to write it normally, then these and these are the same thing. So that is another way you can go about, but in most cases, I will advise you to follow this other method. Because if you are not keen on the number of decimal places, and again, if you do not know how to put back the decimal places in your product, then you might not get it right. All right, write a note. Write a note. In some instances, you might be given a decimal number to be multiplied by a number like 10, 100, thousands, tens of thousands, etc., etc. So if that is the situation, then you can write when multiplying a decimal number by Roman 1, 10, put hyphen, then write the decimal point moves one place to the right. The direction is very important. Roman 2 by 100, the decimal point moves 2 places to the right. How about when you are multiplying by 1,000? Yes, Brian? Good. The decimal point moves 3 places to the right. I've said the direction is very, very important. So the list continues in the same pattern. When you're multiplying by 10,000, it will move 4 places. By 100,000, it will move 5 places. By 1 million, it will move 6 places, etc., etc., in that particular order. That then makes your work very easy when you are working or multiplying a decimal number by such numbers. For example, consider a question like this. Example, can have a 124.6005 times 100. So following the simple rules that we have discussed, this would imply that it is 124.6005 times 100. So this 0 shifts, the first 0 has shifted the decimal point 1 place to the right-hand side. The other 0 will shift it to this point, such that you'll have 12460.05. So this will be 12,460.05. Let us multiply the same number by 1,000. 124.6005 times 1,000. So here, the first 0 will shift the decimal point to that place. Second 0, 2 places. Third 0, 3 places. So that you have 124,600.5. So you can see how simple it is. So whenever you have to multiply a decimal number by either 10, 100, thousands, then just know that the decimal place will move the corresponding number of times to the right, depending on whatever you are multiplying the decimal number with. Any question up to that point? Any question? If you do not have a question, then take down the following. If you do not have a question, take down the following. questions. Solve. Roman 125.45 times 15. Roman 2, 124.6005 times 200. Number 2, Alphonse home from school is 15.7574 kilometers. Calculate the total. Now before that, if he walks to school and back every day, calculate the total distance he walks in 5 days. So Alphonse home from school is 15.74 kilometers. If he walks to school and back every day, calculate the total distance he walks in 5 days. So this is someone going to school every morning and coming back, covering a distance of 15.74 kilometers anytime he goes to school, and of course coming back, covering the same distance. Calculate the total number of kilometers he will have walked within a span of 5 days. Do that plus many other more questions that you can come across. Otherwise, thank you for your time. I'll see you in our next session.